People often talk about patriotism in terms of love. I think love is a really bad model for patriotism, love of country. But here's a good model. It's a concern for the honor of your country. And whether you have that concern, that's just a fact about you, right? That is to say, it's a fact of political psychology that some people in some societies feel that they're participants in the collective, now, honor of their nation. Now, in societies of immigration, self-consciously as such, we invite people to interpret juridical citizenship, the fact of becoming a citizen, wherever you came from. We interpret that as entitling you to these sentiments, and in fact, we invite you into these sentiments if we're doing it properly. We want you, as a migrant coming into Canada or Australia or the United States or Brazil, we want you to come in and feel that what Brazil does matters to you in this way, and therefore that you have a stake in it, and therefore that you are entitled to a voice, because you're entitled to speak about things that affect you, and this is something that affects you. Part of the difficulty with much of Western Europe is that that sense of inviting the migrant into the space of national honor, national engagement, patriotism, is just not there. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't immigrants who feel this, that there are lots of them, but there are many who don't, and part of the reason they don't is because they weren't invited into it, because the space that they were entering was defined by a different way of understanding nationality, which was less juridical and more had to do with the soil and the landscape and all sorts of interesting things that you could talk about. But the point is, there's a background set of psychological and social mechanisms which can either invite the migrant into these sentiments or not. 2 days ago, I heard a very moving talk by a young Mexican-American writer, citizen, but she came to the United States across the border illegally with her parents when she was a child, and so she lived part of her young life as someone without papers, as an illegal immigrant. But she's been invited into the space of this thing, and she felt this Americanness before she got her green card. It's one of the reasons why she wanted it. And I think that's a really important question, what the social processes are that can make migrants feel this sense of ownership, which manifests itself in a concern for the national honor.